So I'm here now with St.Flannan's manager Brendan Bugler, looking ahead to this week's Croke Cup quarter-final against Kilkenny CBS. Brendan, it was obviously a disappointment last time out, but I suppose there was some solace on that occasion that the season wasn't over. There was still at least one more game to look forward to.
Yeah, absolutely. I suppose it's so hard to get to a Hurling Cup final, and I suppose when you do get there and you're unsuccessful or successful, look at your attention has to turn to that Ireland series. So look at I suppose it's a privilege to be in the last six, and it's a privilege to be at this stage in this competition. As I said, it's really hard to get to a Hurling Cup final. So all the focus is originally on that, but then obviously the focus turns to this now.
And of course, Flannan's with so much history in the Croke Cup as well as the Harty, but looking to the Croke Cup, second in the roll of honour all time. I suppose this current crop of players are going to be looking to make their own mark on that as well.
Oh yeah, look, you can only take one game at a time, and that's what we're doing, all right. But there's a nice little carrot at the end of it with opportunity possibly to be playing in Croke Park, and as you said there, the opportunity to win a Croke Cup is massive. But it all starts this weekend against Kilkenny CBS, and hopefully we're successful there.
Yeah, and obviously they shipped quite a heavy defeat last time out, but I suppose St.Kieran's the dominant side in the last couple of years, but even the scoreline doesn't really showcase the quality that the Kilkenny CBS have.
No, not for a fact. No, I've seen them twice play this year, and it was a freak result, to be honest with you. So they are a really, really, really good side. But I suppose Kilkenny St. Kieran's got a run in them that particular day in the first half, and it was just hard for them to claw it back, and they lost a couple of lads with injuries as well on the day. But they are a very, very good outfit. They'd have won the junior in Leinster last year, so they're an up and coming team. A lot of guys in their second last year, but they're a quality side, and that, as I said, just come up against a real good St. Kieran's team.
I suppose you're looking at yourselves. You had such a strong start to that Harty final. You're 5 points up in the first half. I suppose it does offer a building block, I suppose, to get onto that strong start again, and I suppose not to let the lead relinquish this time.
Yeah, look, it was we played well. It was a good performance, and there's areas of the game where I suppose we could have been a little bit better, I suppose, in our game management, in particular in the second half, maybe a 15-minute period in the second half. But look at the learnings that you have to take, and sure, we'll hope to take them and use them going forward for this weekend.
Yeah, and as you said, you've seen Kilkenny CBS a couple of times. You've an idea, I suppose, of where to attack and to use your strengths against them in the best possible way.
Yeah, absolutely. As I said, I've only seen them live once, but I've seen them another time on video. But yeah, look, that's all we have on them. But I suppose our main focus has to be on us and our own principles of play, and hopefully we can be really sharp there and see where it goes.
And yeah, they put it up to St. Kieran's in the past as well, and I suppose but you've enough quality in your team to, I suppose, even look. I suppose you can't get too excited and look beyond the competition and the game on Saturday. But for any of the teams left, the quality you have in your side, you can't really. You're not in a position to fear any of those teams that are left.
No, I wouldn't say that. Yeah, definitely. Look at it's a case of we do have good players, and we trust the players that we have, and look, we've proven in the Hurling Cup final that we're well able for a team of the calibre of Ennis CBS, and yeah, look, we have a good team, but if your attitude isn't right on the day, it's going to be no good. But yeah, we will hopefully we'll see what happens on Saturday.
I suppose they've risen to the challenge, although coming out on the wrong side of the Hurling Cup final. They've had two games in front of rather large crowds inside the park in the previous two games. That'll only stand to the players as well.
Yeah, it'll be a different occasion. It's I suppose it was extremely unusual in the fact that a Hurling Cup semi-final and a Hurling Cup final was played in our county grounds, and I suppose the boys were extremely fortunate in that regard to be playing in such a pitch and in such surroundings. So look, it's a bit more this time around. It's a bit more back to brass tacks, and I'm sure the pitch won't be as pleasing as Kilkenny Park was, and it could be back to just blood and guts. And it'll be the pitch will obviously be a little bit softer, and we're going to have to dig deep this time if we're going to get a result.
Yeah, and I suppose we've alluded to the quality in the side already, but it doesn't really matter to some of these fellas with the ability that they do have, whether it is the surface that's in Cusack Park or, as you said, a slightly softer surface. They have the ability to win any game.
Well, I don't know. We'd like to think so anyway, but sure, look, it all depends on what frame of mind we turn up in. If it's a good frame of mind and we're focused and ready to work hard, we can beat anybody. But if we're slightly off in that department, then it becomes a lot more difficult.
And I suppose how are the fellas dealing with it? I suppose the time of year it is, especially if you've got a few boys in sixth year, the mocks and prees or whatever you want to call them coming around the corner as well. It's a kind of a difficult time on all fronts for them.
Yeah, there's a few moving parts, all right, this time of the year, and there's a few involved in county squads as well, and you have to remember that as well, and they're in an important phase of their training, heading into Munster Championship, but they're able to juggle. We train straight after school, so they're gone by 5:15. It's not a big deal to train. Stay on an extra hour after school to train or whatever. And they are very ambitious, and they're a very dedicated group, and they just want to be successful, and they see it as a big opportunity to hopefully go on and get to Croke Park if they can, and that's motivation in itself for these guys.
Yeah, the first step to that is of course Saturday. So best of luck, Brendan, and I suppose hopefully we'll be speaking to you ahead of a semi-final as well.
Thanks very much, Dara. Appreciate that.